Hello, so this is my review of the Nike Vomero Plus. I bought this shoe off of Shields. They were having a sale, got me a pair, got my wife a pair as well. And so this is a self-funded video. And please, if you get a chance, hit the like and subscribe button just to help the channel out. As it's a mix, I do get some shoes from other places, but pay for most of them myself. So if you enjoy the content, if you got any feedback, let me know. Appreciate it. So next up, give you some details of the shoe. Okay, some of the deets. Sorry, I have to look at my phone. Can't remember everything. So the sample size at size 9 for men comes in at 9.9 ounces. My size 12s came in at 11.8 for both the left and the right shoe, so good quality there. Nike. The heel stack, according to the site, is 45 millimeter, but I have seen some sites that do their own measurements say it's around 43. So take that for what you will. The drop is 10 millimeters. The upper is a mono-blended engineered mesh, lightweight, soft, stretchy, per their marketing stuff. Outsole is a high abrasion rubber, and it covers the full insole. Sure does. The midsole has a ZoomX superfoam, and the rocker geometry creates easier rolling transitions combined with a wide base for inherent steadiness. Gotta love the jargon. MSRP is $180. I think I did get this for 30% off of that. It was a really good deal for Shields. So those are the main deets. Next up, I will talk about the usage cases that I used for this review. Alright, so first of all, I did walking in the shoe. I use these in the office when walking around the city of Innsbruck in Austria. I was on a work trip, and these are the shoes I took to go out there. So all of the walking I did at the facility I work for around the town of Innsbruck, they were in these shoes. I ran medium and long distance miles in the review miles for this shoe. Actually got to run around Innsbruck some while out there, but I had to wake up at very early in the morning to get it done. And then I also used this shoe for a charity event. It was a 100-mile charity event, and 40 of the miles in that event came in this shoe. So I have overall 65-ish miles. I have it somewhere here. Yeah, 65 miles in this shoe. So I feel like I can give a pretty good feedback on the shoe from my experience. So next up, all right, the upper. First of all, I will say I actually like this upper. I like the look of the shoe. Don't have many Nike shoes. I have one trail shoe and now one road shoe. I just have not had the opportunity to run in a lot of Nike shoes since I started doing this and running. Probably because the first shoe I tried on was a Pegasus and I just didn't like it. Anyways, the upper. So they have nice rib laces. They work. For $180, I'd maybe wish for a little bit of a higher end shoelace on it, but they're functional. The tongue is a very well padded tongue. It is not gusseted, but it does have the lace loop on the tongue here. So again, for $180, I would expect some kind of a gusseting system. However, the tongue is so thick that it doesn't go anywhere. So functionally, it probably isn't needed, but I would actually wish for a little bit less padding on the tongue and a gusset, only because I'm in Houston, Texas, and this in the summer is just going to be a sponge. It's just going to be big, moppy, wet. But for the winter, works great. Just buyer beware for hot weather. If you're a sweater like me, that's going to soak it up. You have a semi-rigid heel cup. Actually, as thick as this tongue is, it's almost the same thickness as the collar, which I like. I think for this type of shoe, the collar is almost the perfect amount of padding. It's not overdone. Holds the foot in well. I had no heel slippage. Has a nice pull tab. It did great. The upper material is nice and soft. You have some TPU overlays. The Nike Strike, of course. Got to have that. The fit was great. I had no problems with the fit on this shoe. I don't know if they use a little bit of a different design style and language for this shoe over their Pegasus lines, but I had enough room in the toe box to do all kinds of runs. and that did great. So that is it for the upper. Next up, the outsole. Nike has a very generous portion of rubber on this outsole, and while it's not the lightest shoe, for the amount of stack and the material on this and the rubber, the weight comes in respectable. It's not overly heavy, so I'm surprised at that with the amount of rubber on this outsole. So again, kudos to Nike on that. I had great traction on this. This shoe ran on dry conditions and wet conditions, and even a little bit of ice when I was in Austria. I had great traction the whole time. Never had any slippage problems. I was quite impressed with the outsole. I am also a high wear person. This area on the outer part, I don't know if you there you go, on the outer part of my rear of the foot, I just wear the crap out of it, and so far it is wearing very minimally. So I expect to get above average wear on this shoe. It's kind of built like a stylish tank overall, so I think it's going to be very good durability. While I don't like the price point at $180, if you can get it on sale, this is a shoe that you should get your money's worth out of. A good cost per mile ratio on this shoe. So that is it for the outsole. Next up, the midsole. Got that big slab of ZoomX. This is just bouncy as all get out foam. It is probably slightly unstable. It is not the most stable underfoot. Doesn't have a whole lot of flex on it, but it does move some. I liked the underfoot feel of this running so much that I did exactly what I wasn't planning on doing when I got to the 100-mile charity event. I was just gonna run in this shoe for like 10 miles, and I was gonna split up the rest of the mileage between different shoes. I kept going. I did 40 miles in this shoe, which was a mistake. So here's the one caution on this midsole. If you need some stability, especially on longer miles, you may want to be cautious of the shoe because the foam, it's just lively. It doesn't have a lot of structure in it. It's a big slab of amazing ZoomX foam, but it can be slightly on the unstable side. So by the time I got to mile 40, my back was hurting, my knees were hurting, my one ankle was starting to hurt, and it was just because I needed a little bit more stability for the type of run I was doing and for the distance I was doing. Now, that is me. It's not necessarily the shoe's fault. That is the runner not using the right tool for the type of run he's going on. I say that because the Yellow Runner, I don't know if you know her, she's a very popular YouTuber, Instagrammer, amazing runner. She went and did 100 miles in this shoe, it had no problems. So you have to understand your own mechanics, your own type of the shoe that you like, what you're using it for. I should have probably cut this off at my original plan. But taking that out of the equation, shoe's fantastic. It can do long runs. I just won't use it for 40 miles. I would do a marathon in it because I had no pain until after 30 miles. It was just too unstable for me after that. But it actually has some flexibility back and forth here, which is amazing for the amount of stack on this shoe. It's just a fun shoe. I mean, that foam is tremendous. I might actually end up buying more Nikes down the road. So there you go. This shoe actually got me into the Nike world. So that's it for the midsole. I will give you some final thoughts and then. Okay, so final thoughts on the Nike Vomero Plus. So the only problem I had was my own mistake was using a shoe for an endurance event that I probably wasn't ready to do. And again, I don't blame the shoe for that. I blame me. Other runners who are stronger, and she did more training in the shoe, went to 100 miles, no problem in the shoe. So you have to know your own self. But I am a huge fan of this shoe. I'm a huge fan of this colorway. I wear it to the office. It goes with my work clothes and looks nice with it. And then I can take it out for runs, and it looks great out there too. Go Nike swoosh. Again, the really only negative thing I have about the shoe is the price point. And I understand U.S. market. That's just, it is what it is. But I wish that the price market would come back down some. It's just been going up and up, and I wish it would start coming back down and equalizing out down a little bit below what is becoming normal. So that's all I have. Strongly recommend this shoe if you like max stack daddies of shoes. Cheers, have a great weekend.